Cool.
Okay, big clap.
Welcome back to our channel. I'm Megan, a teen teacher here at UPLIFT. Feel free to subscribe for tools to own your whole wellness, mind, body, and spirit. Would you like to learn more about Own It? Well, here we are with our Own It Q&A. I have some cards here with questions we get a lot. Let's get started. Okay, so what exactly is Own It? So Own It is an acronym, and each letter is a step in this meditation. And so ideally you check in with how you're doing, and then you begin to settle into the moment and notice your sounds and sensations, and then you set your intention for the meditation. I'm already going into it right now as I'm just thinking about it. And then you practice a little bit of gratitude and you wrap it up with some manifestation. It's a really well-rounded meditation for you to do just like any time of the day. What is your personal journey with meditation? How has Own It personally helped you? Well, to keep a long story short, let's talk a little bit about my own personal journey. I hated meditation in the beginning. I have struggled with anxiety and depression and perfectionism, all sorts of fun stuff. I've tried a lot of different things. I've tried journaling, and I found UPLIFT, and I've done, yoga and lots of manifestation and visualization, and I've tried a lot, and I've watched a lot of videos, and I read a lot of self-help books, but all of these things only take you so far. I feel like the tool that really got me to home base was meditation, and specifically Own It. And not just because it makes me feel better or it gets me more connected or peaceful, and it does, but I feel like Own It is a really great way of assessing where you're at with the depression or anxiety or whatever it is that you may be struggling with. Really sitting in it and then turning it into a place of peace or higher knowing. Because we don't do meditation to avoid hard feelings. We don't do it to avoid anything for that matter. So we don't do meditation to be positive and to put all of our worries behind us. It's not about that. It's about finding some gentleness within ourselves and exploring ourselves. It's through self-exploration that you know what's triggering you and what's bothering you and what that hole that you're in looks like and how to get out of it. Because I think so many people, when they're struggling, they tend to focus on the end goal and the end result rather than let's paint a picture of where I'm at right now. I feel like Own It helped me do that. Move on to the next question. What are the superpowers you get from Own It? How has it helped you in your daily life? The thing I get from Own It is presence. I really struggle with that, and Own It it's a way to start my day that really sets an intention that's okay, let's continue to have this grounded feeling throughout the day. The best superpower I've gotten from Own It is given me patience and compassion in my life. It has given me the ability to have stressful situations arise and not completely freak out. I'm grounded, I'm ready, I'm assessing the situation, and not just in stressful situations, but in any situation. I'm just more mindful. This is a good one. When should I own it? So I think the key thing is that you figure out what works for you. I've tried, morning and night, morning and afternoon, just afternoons. For me, the most essential time to own it is during the afternoon because I get hangry and cranky and I need to reset. And that's when it's really the most radical for me. But it's also really helpful to own it in the morning when you have time and you're not stressed about it, because it sets a good start to your day and it gives you an intention and it gives you a good leap. So the key thing is that you just do it when it works for you. Try different times of the day. And all of this said, it doesn't have to look like, you sitting on the ground or in your bed actually meditating still. It can be on walks. It can be while driving very safely. I'm not sure I recommend that one. I feel bad for saying it now, but owning it in the car is helpful. I know a lot of people forget to do it or they don't feel like doing it. So the way to combat that, I would say, would do it when it feels good and when it's crossing your mind. You have to meet yourself halfway in this practice. It's hard for me to focus. What do I do when thoughts pop up? So I think we need to first address the stereotype or the generalization of meditating, which is that you go into monk mode and your mind is completely clear and you're completely one with peace, and it doesn't work like that. You're going to have thoughts rolling up, especially when you're going through a hard time or you are getting intrusive thoughts. It happens, and I've had my fair struggle of intrusive thoughts. And I know with them that they want to like test your boundaries and see how much they can annoy you. And it becomes like a little challenge between you and your brain. Like, actually, what do you do when these thoughts pop up? And there are a few options. Sometimes I like to journal. Getting it out on paper helps me slow down my mind a little bit. You can also just try sitting with them. Like, be curious about them. Like, notice them. Give them the spotlight a little bit so that they don't feel like they need to keep nudging you, because then they're going to feel, I'm saying this as though your thoughts are people, but in a way they are. When you give the thoughts attention, that they're going to stop bothering you so much, because there's a reason they're popping up. A final option is when these thoughts come up, just like try to let them go and trust that if it's truly important, you'll remember it later on. Like, if it is, after the meditation, it will have the same significance, and maybe it won't, and then maybe it's not that important to you. What if I don't have time to meditate? So the thing I try to tell people is that it really doesn't matter if you don't have time to meditate. That's kind of not a fair excuse, because meditation creates time. Like, if, say, you have a busy work day ahead of you and you're just trying to check things off your to-do list and you're like, I'll meditate afterwards just because you need to meditate today. Like, what we need to realize is that meditating before is actually going to make your to-do list like more efficient and more, you're going to be more passionate about it and more uplifted to do it. The thing about meditation is it gives us the superpowers and the tools and the ability and the mindset to be able to do things more efficiently and to show up presently and wholeheartedly in them. For me, it's just like non-negotiable. Like, if I'm going to be a little late, I need to have that meditation. It's just the way it is, because I know that it's going to put me in a better mood. I mean, yeah, when I don't own it, I feel it. I crave it. I know when I need it, and when I need it, I just have to do it. Sometimes you don't feel like doing it, but then we can go back to like, what do I do when thoughts pop up? It's just all about like the practice and realizing that you have to have patience with yourself, and it's a practice of patience. Just as one would practice guitar to get better at it, we practice meditation to get better at handling our minds and our thoughts. The truth is, you already know everything about meditation. It's already in you. You know what feels good for you and what works for you. And maybe that will take a little bit of experimenting, but I can only tell you so much that's going to help, because it's what works for you. That's what matters. With this, I invite you to give it some time to really test it out and see what feels good and what doesn't work and what does work. And it will just give you more wisdom to like share with friends when you talk to them about meditation. So it might feel absolutely magical the first time you try it, and the first time you try it might be a little underwhelming. So like, give it some time. It's not going to come overnight. Well, thanks for joining us for this Q&A video about Own It. Please comment down below any questions, and honestly, just like, let's check in, see how it's working for you. So thank you for watching, and I hope that you guys have an amazing day.